Well, guys, we have got a fantastic show today with the winner of the 2025 United States Presidential Service Center International Film Festival, the #1 first place winner, the film 74 by Bill Thibeault. Just unbelievable to see not only this trailer, we're going to watch it today, but to hear about the legislation from Bill. Without further ado, I'm going to bring on the producer and director of this unbelievable film that won first place. And Bill is with us today from all the way up north, where it's a bit colder, I think a little bit colder than down here in North Carolina. How cold is it up there, Bill?
Oh, it's a little bit cold up here in Connecticut.
Yeah.
In the 30s right now. We got a couple of inches of snow a couple of days ago.
And we're complaining that it went down to 11 degrees one night here. So,
well, actually, that's colder than it got here. It was about 14, 15 up here.
You never know these days, but have you had snow?
About 2 inches two days ago.
Wow, 2 inches. Okay. You know, when we even get a threat of snow down here, everything shuts down in the Carolinas. The milk and bread on the shelves in the grocery store disappears. It's a mass cavalcade, and the schools will unequivocally close just to be safe, including ICE. But hey, man, I'm so proud of you and your huge trophy that you got in the mail, shipped by UPS. A big box came.
Oh, you mean this trophy right here?
That trophy. So I think this is one of the cool things that has made this film festival a little bit different is the silver plaques, the bronze awards, the medals, the real trophy. Most people have told us, like, honestly, Marty, you get a piece of paper and they only email it to you, and you can go down to the dollar store and put it in a frame and put it on the wall behind you if you want to. That's all you're getting from these film festivals. So
exactly. That's how it usually works. They give you the link to download the certificate. You print it out yourself, and you go to the dollar store and get a frame.
That's right. So we wanted to like do something different and put our money where our mouth was. And the first trophy was pretty difficult in Africa. The first winner in 2024. Now going into our third year of 2026, they had to actually figure out, where can we have a huge trophy made here in Ghana? And that took some doing from Prince Kojo Hilton, our executive director of the film festival. So we were able to have yours made and ship it to your studio and your office. Yeah. Great to see it. Great to see it. So 74, the movie, Bill, where did this come from? For people who are completely unaware today, we are streaming on 3 channels of Facebook and Instagram, but also through our contract, a legitimate contract that we have with LinkedIn. Very difficult to get. And naturally, YouTube. We're on YouTube right now. But also the Twitch Entertainment Network, we're streaming live on as we speak. 8 networks simultaneously worldwide. For people watching this, Bill, who have no idea, they haven't seen the trailer, tell us where this film came from.
Well, the story came from 1969. I was a 19-year-old sailor stationed on board the USS Frank E, a destroyer that deployed out of Long Beach, California, to the Vietnam War. So we went to the gun line in Vietnam. We fired our guns, did everything we were supposed to do, and then we had to go to the Philippines to rearm the ship and stock up on stores. And we were heading back to Vietnam to get back to the battle stations, and we were assigned to a training exercise for SEATO, which is the Southeast Asia Treaty Organization. And it was called Operation Sea Spirit. And we were assigned as an escort to the Australian aircraft carrier, HMAS Melbourne, along with other navies. The New Zealand Navy, the British Navy was also involved. But at about 3 o'clock in the morning on June 3rd of 69, we were sailing alongside the aircraft carrier in a zigzag maneuver, and we accidentally crossed the bow of the carrier, and the Melbourne split us in half. and the front half of my ship sank in about 3 minutes, maybe 3.5 minutes. I was on the back half of the ship, which stayed afloat. In a matter of no time at all, I lost 74 of my shipmates. And we found out about 20, 25 years later that none of the 74 names were included on the Vietnam Memorial Wall in Washington, D.C. And the reason for that was that we were technically outside of the combat zone at the time of the collision. So if we would have been within that combat zone, the names would have automatically been included on the wall. And myself and the rest of the survivors, we made a vow to continue the fight to get those names added to the wall. And I've been a musician and artist all my life. And in 2019, I recorded an album called Recognition, with that being the title song. And I hopped in my little tiny Toyota Yaris with my wife and went cross country on a 7-week tour to Long Beach, to where the 50th anniversary was being held on the Queen Mary. Then after that, we drove back to Connecticut, continuing the tour.
Right.
And that didn't do any good. I mean, it raised some awareness, but it didn't move our effort forward to get the names included on the wall. Fast forward to 2021, I became a filmmaker and started networking with the local film industry here in Connecticut. And one of the filmmakers that was also a writer wrote the script for 74. He wrote a full-length script feature, and we produced, or should I say, I produced and directed the short proof of concept.
Amazing.
Which is now called 74.
Amazing. And this proof of concept, obviously, is pretty attention-getting. Is very well done. The cinematography, the blocking, the music. I mean, everybody that watched this was thoroughly impressed. And at the end, you know, I think you're left with many people that I've shown it to, admirals in the American Navy, and sent it to the Navy themselves, including the National Navy Memorial Museum, the new museum, with Admiral Knitsny, Admiral Al Knitsny, Admiral Al, the sailor's pal. The film is being submitted to festivals now, worldwide still.
Well, it has been. We just finished a festival run last week.
Yeah, and do you want to tell us about the ongoing legislative efforts in the American Congress?
Well, what's going on right now in Congress and the Senate is there's a new bill that's been introduced. It's called the USS Frank E. Evans Act, and it's been introduced into the Senate as SB 3131, and it was introduced into the Congress as HR 5945. So if anybody out there is interested in helping us get those names on the wall, contact your senators and your congressmen and tell them that you want them to support that bill.
Okay. I've got a feeling that we maybe should put that up, that actual bill number. So should we make that available? Was that a House resolution? Can you give me that number again? I want to put that on here because people will see that for years to come.
Right.
So tell me that number. I'm going to type that in right now, Bill. I think we should have that up on the screen.
Okay, the number for the Senate is SB 3131. In the House bill for Congress is HR 5945.
5945. And
correct.
What is the name of that bill? You said the USS Frank E. Evans recognition bill?
It's just the USS Frank E. Evans Act.
Now that's going to be spelled Frankie.
No, Frank. And E period. E is the middle initial.
Oh, okay.
And then Evans.
Oh, okay. I understand why. Frank E. Evans Act. Let's take a look at that. Take a look at that here, and let's make sure that that is how that should be displayed for people reading this later.
Yeah, the ship was named after a World War I general.
Okay, so is that good the way that reads there? The Frank E. Evans Act. I'll put it up again for you there. Let's take a look at a bill. SB 3131, that's the Senate bill. House Resolution 5945. This is the U.S. Frank E. Evans Act.
Correct.
Okay. All right, good. So I want to get that up there where people can read that and see that. I was just speaking with one of our Congress people last week in his office about some Navy issues with the Submarine Advocacy Group, SAG, and atmospheric contaminants in submarine atmospheres since 1947. And we have a lot of headway to go to get the PACT Act actually modified to include submarine atmospheric contaminants and toxic contaminants. So I know how these things go. They take some time, but this one is SB 3131, if you see this, or House Resolution 5945, the USS Frank E. Evans Act. Anybody that would like to support this, talk with your Congress people, talk with their offices. If the congressperson or the senator is not available, you can still talk with the office. And when you call the office, you can even ask for the legislative aide that handles military matters or military affairs. Do they have a specific person designated for that here in Vermont, here in Montana, here in Utah, here in California, wherever you live? And that person may actually be more in tune with military affairs. So sometimes they have somebody that does that. Yeah. What's the headway on this so far? This is what, the second or third time you've had this legislatively advanced? Where are we at on this bill?
Well, this bill has just recently been introduced. We've had several bills introduced in the past that failed. The very first one that I was aware of was in 2000, and it was introduced by my Connecticut Congressman Rob Simmons, and that one was called the Fair Vietnam.
Okay, so we may have lost Bill there for a second, but that's fine. A little bit of network congestion. I will actually just say, if you want to keep trying to get a bill passed.
Am I there?
Yes.
Okay.
You're back again. We have a little bit of network congestion here with the snow. But go ahead.
Okay, like I was saying, in 2000, my Connecticut Congressman Rob Simmons introduced the Fairness to All Vietnam Veterans Act. And that was the first one that I know of that was introduced, and it did not go through. And several other acts have been introduced, again, not being passed. Now, the other thing that was happening in the past was there's been congressmen have tried to add the names of the wall by adding it to the National Defense Authorization Act, the budget. And every time that happened, it was denied again. So everything that we've done so far to get those names on the wall has failed.
And veterans like us from the Navy, Army, Air Force, Marines, Coast Guard, Space Force, the Military Sea Lift Command, we have to be used to this. Sometimes things don't happen the first time you try it. For instance, Agent Orange, they swore for decades that the spraying of that liqueous aerosol all over human male bodies was tested, and it did nothing. It had no effect. It was a mere herbicide used on farms and things, and it had no effect to the human bodice. But we have my cousin who lives here is now on that list because his dad died, and he went on the list because he was a human fetus boy of his father. So they have a lot of presumptive conditions. If you have these diseases, it is directly linked to your father, who you were born from, that was sprayed with Agent Orange. So it took decades of battling with that. And the PACT Act, it took decades. And it took Jon Stewart screaming into microphones in front of Congress to get the PAC Act passed through, Bill. I'm in 6 out of 10 toxic burn pit zones recognized by the VA. And I'm actually, when I leave here, I'm going to the VA to the ENT clinic because you may notice the sinusitis and the rhinitis is not doing well today. So it may take some time for folks watching the show. We have to keep putting these bills up, and we have to generate a groundswell and try to get the endorsement that we're looking for. And we have quite a few veterans in Congress, quite a few who hold positions. So that's encouraging. I want to say we're going to take a look at the trailer when we come back. We're going to break for a commercial, and we're going to watch the entire trailer. So give us a second, everybody. We're going to break and throw a couple of sponsors up, including the Malhar Film Festival. It's not all about just our film festival. We like to share and showcase others and celebrate them. But when we come back, we're going to watch Bill's trailer of 74 live here streaming worldwide.
Thanks for watching and stay tuned. We'll be right back. Be sure to support our amazing sponsors, stop by, say hello, and explore how you can do business together. We truly appreciate their partnership and yours.
Let's play a game. खेलबी?
You know what? ये लाइफ सेट वाली लाइन है स्कैम।
Yun nga, Medla.
सारा लाइफ सेट करते करते पूरी लाइफ ही मैनेज हो जाती है।
If you happen to hear the leaf blower outside, that's the sound of progress, baby. That's the sound of freedom. We are here at the Fastport Studios in the historic Degas House. That is the broadcasting home of Radio Nemo. If you go to radionemo.com, if you go to Odyssey, if you go to iHeart, if you go to the TubaU, if you go to the Book of Face, we're in a lot of places talking to truckers and talking to the people who like to talk to truckers all across America. Told you what the Fastport Studios, by the way. You should go to fastport.com. If you do, you'll learn about that great company too that actually helps make veteran dreams come true by giving them a purpose-driven life. I'm joined, in fact, by the guy who made the Fastport Studio possible, president of Fastport, Mr. Brad Bentley. How you doing? You enjoying this new studio as we bring it to life?
Every day is a great day in New Orleans, but it's always fun to come to the studio and give you Mac.
Well, I got to tell you, we're going to get some donuts here later on, but for now, you should come on down to radionemo.com, and if you want to, come check us out on July 23rd. Big party going down. The leaf blower will not be here for that.
Priya Children's Academy provides a holistic education to the children. Total strength of 40 experienced teachers and 850 students. Our STEAM teaching methodology is adapted to meet our students' needs. Our science labs for physics, chemistry, biology and mathematics are well equipped to benefit our students in higher. Computer lab has with internet facility and a dedicated server. Conference hall. Our school's gallery-style conference hall is equipped with multimedia facility, herbal garden. We've 40 type of medicinal plants in our school's herbal garden. School has 3 buses and 2 vans to pick up and drop our students at specific locations. Extracurricular activity. We encourage innovation, engagement and empathy among students. We're the beacon light in the ocean of knowledge.
Every generation, every sacrifice. Our nation's service members have stood up for our freedom, our families, and our future. Now it's our turn to stand up for them. This year, you can honor their service in a deeply personal way by sponsoring a $17 Veterans Wreath. Each wreath is more than a symbol. It's a heartfelt tribute to the heroes who served and to the families who carry their legacy. Visit wreathsacrossamerica.org to sponsor a wreath today. This isn't just a wreath. It's a personal gift to an American hero.
Okay, guys, we're back again, and we are still here with Bill Thibeault with 74, the film. We're going to watch this film now, and I would just like to say we were just there at Arlington National Cemetery, Bill. We did Wreaths Across America. It was unbelievable, thanks to Brad Bentley and the support of Fastport and 10th Street with Brian Weibold and all of the sponsors for the Veteran Ready Summit in Washington, D.C. last week. I hope that you were catching some of those posts. I was blasting and blowing out all over the presidential luncheons that we hosted, were wildly received, very successful. And gosh, the dinner on Friday night, almost 1,000 people at dinner at the Marriott Crystal City Gateway. Unbelievable for Wreaths Across America. Those testimonials on stage, Bill, from the husband and wife about their son that they lost and that he never came back. And of course, you know, at the end, the father had to say, you know, go Army, beat Navy. But as you know, on Saturday, the Army-Navy game, Bill, we won. So I know a lot of people were disappointed. Navy was down so far in the fourth quarter. It was a 72.4% chance that the Army would win. And then we scored, and then we kicked, and it went up 17-16. So for Dave Harrison out there from the Army, we beat the pants off you, Dave. And it was a great game, though. All of a sudden, it went up to the probability was 92.2% that the Navy would win with just about 4 or 5 minutes left. So what a game, what a game. Go Navy, beat Army. And we were very proud of the Navy. We're very proud of you also, Bill. I want to see if I can get this to showcase here, Bill, and make sure I've got this screen. The thing I like to check on this is I like to make sure, yes, the audio is good and that everybody out there across the world can hear this. So let me share 74 now with everybody to see. And yep, it looks good. It looks good. As you guys can see, I think what I'll do is I'll also make this maybe large screen, Bill. You and I are over there to the left, but let me blow this up full screen for everybody here, and let's get it backed up to the beginning there. And this is the trailer, the true story of the Sage brothers. And this is actually, you may have noticed there on Bill's site. So if you're looking for that there, you'll notice the real site is Bill Thibeault Productions. That's right here, just to make sure. And definitely join and thumbs up here and share it with everybody. The whole story is right here. Currently just over 15,000 views, which is pretty good, pretty darn good. Bill's also got some links here to his Facebook site. So click in, leave a comment, say something. There you are. I have a comment right there to Bill. What a great film. Let's get this thing running, everybody, and I'll expand this.
I think we're gonna bring in peach cobbler.
Try to, have my favorite barbecue.
Yeah, really nice stuff. Good, good.
The initial attack on the destroyer Maddox on August 2nd was repeated today by a number of hostile vessels attacking 2 U.S. destroyers with torpedoes. Aggression by terror against the peaceful villagers of South Vietnam has now been joined by open aggression on the high seas against the United States of America. We still seek no wider war, but it is my considered conviction, shared throughout your government, that firmness in the right is indispensable today for peace. That firmness will always be measured. Its mission is peace.
I'm thinking I'm gonna join the Marines.
What?
No. But I said no. Well, why not?
Because you're still a boy.
I'm gonna be 18 in just a couple of months.
And you still don't know nothing about what it's really like out there.
That didn't stop you.
That was different.
But
I said no, and that's final.
Give it a tap.
Thanks.
It ain't glorious, you know. War. Ain't nothing noble about it. You stomp around from place to place, marching through the mud and the blood, living out of holes you dig in the dirt. And you kill. Not evil men. Not men deserve to die. You kill boys. Innocent, clueless boys just like yourself.
I know.
No, you don't know. You think you do because you see things on the television. But it ain't really like that.
I know people are dying. Innocent people, women, children, they're being killed and they don't know why. It ain't right.
Sounds like you've already made up your mind.
Just feels like this is something I need to do.
At least maybe consider joining the Navy instead. You'd still serve, but your mama, she'd feel a whole lot better knowing you'd be a bit safer. I'm gonna be able to fix this thing without you around.
you, son.
Looks like the Navy's gonna have one more sissy, huh?
Sure. You make sure you take care of Mama and Daddy for me while I'm gone, okay? I love you, Mama.
I love you too, baby. You be safe.
I will.
Promise me now.
I promise, Mama.
All right, then. Better get on, then. Bus driver's waiting on you.
I think so.
Two more weeks, then I report to the Evans.
She's a good ship.
I'll make her a better one.
I doubt that.
Greg, you better go on now. That beautiful bride of yours ain't gonna wait forever.
See you guys later.
Daddy already said I could join up after I graduate. Didn't you, Daddy?
Seems like I ain't gonna say in the matter as far as you boys are concerned.
Maybe we all can get on the same boat.
Well, it ain't normal no more, but it still happens every now and then.
Well, all I know is that your mama would feel a whole lot better if her boys were all together looking after one another.
I'll fill out the paperwork as soon as I get back to Merrick. Worst they can say is no.
Ernest Sage, you all get in here and help us get this food put away. Ain't gonna do none of us no good letting it all go spoil.
You heard the boss.
Hi, Mama.
So good to see you.
Keep squeezing the boy like that and you'll suffocate him. How about we give him some air? Welcome home.
What do you think?
Good to see you.
They cut off all your hair.
They do that in the Navy, Mama.
Those big old ears of his makes him look like Dumbo.
Paige, you hush up and go fetch your boy. He's upstairs with Doug.
Hey, good to see you. It's been so long.
My nephew is going to see you. You look great. You look great.
This just in. At approximately 3 o'clock this morning, the Navy destroyer, the USS Frank E. Evans, was cut in half, sending dozens of American sailors to their untimely deaths. It is currently being reported that while participating in joint service maneuvers, the Evans was struck broadside
by the Australian aircraft carrier HMAS Melbourne. In a span of minutes, the bow of the Evans sank out of sight in the dark, deep waters. Casualties of the crash were being attended by surviving members of the Evans as well as the crew of the Melbourne. Rescue efforts are currently underway. More on this situation as it becomes available.
On June 3rd, 1969, 74 men, including the three Sage brothers, gave their lives in service to the United States. They were sons, brothers, fathers, and husbands, and their last thoughts in those 3 minutes of sheer horror were most likely of their loved ones, those left behind to mourn. A hearing held in 2003 resulted in the Department of Defense refusing a petition to add the 74 names of the Evans crew to the Vietnam Memorial Wall. In 2010, President Obama sent the issue to the Secretary of the Navy. This request was also denied. And again in 2014, and again in 2020. Help us tell their story.
Put up their names high on the wall. Make that black stone their last port of call. There's room for the names of those 74 who sailed alongside an unwinnable war. Down in D.C. there is yonder's wall for those who died in the Vietnam War. 58,261, but they are still missing these 74. Was the 3rd day of June in 1969. American sun shipped to jungle front lines while these boys they fought and while.
Well, Bill, what a great song. Also, if you just listen to the lyrics of the song, not only well put together, but can you tell us about the song?
Well, that was written by a songwriter and a musician here in Connecticut by the name of Tom Guerra about 12 years ago, when he had heard about the situation of the names not being on the wall, and he did a phenomenal job on it.
The lyrics, I tell you, the theme, the music, just so nice, so nice. A question here that came up, which I actually copied and put over, was, let me see if I put this correctly. Yeah, how does the film help viewers understand the chaos and finality of an event that unfolded in less than 3 minutes? And I guess that means, like, did you go in the water yourself, Bill?
No, I did not go in the water. Like I said, I was on the back half of the ship, which actually stayed afloat.
Wow.
What happened was, when the ship got hit, my half kind of swung to the side of the aircraft carrier, and the guys that were in the on duty in a wake were able to get the watertight hatches and everything shut in time for it not to take on water. And also the Australian crew from the Melbourne were able to secure the half to the side of the carrier, which also helped.
Yeah, exactly.
And then what they had done was they put cargo nets over the side of the carrier.
Oh, I got
And
you.
the rest of the surviving members, including myself, climbed up the cargo nets onto the carrier.
Wow. Wow. Okay. Unbelievable, man. Unbelievable. Can only remember and think about like John F. Kennedy's PT-109 being cut in half in the middle of the night by the destroyer that cut it in half. You are definitely a living legend as a survivor, Bill. Unbelievable. The other question that came up is, let me see if I read this correctly. How does the absence of these names affect the families who lost loved ones? And I think that is about like, because the ship was sent to Vietnam, operated in combat waters, but technically for a couple of hours was outside of the zone when the deaths occurred. So now they, all these decades have said, well, we're not going to recognize them. They're not Vietnam veterans. So how does that affect the families?
Well, it's just not giving the families closure because it's something that still hasn't been resolved yet. We're trying to get this done, and we are going to fight to get this done until the day that we die.
Yeah. And isn't that kind of unjust? Hopefully I copied that question correctly. Thank you also to Chef Desiree Gerard, who was watching on Instagram. Frankie Kenki, Istiak Doza, and Istiak is over in Bangladesh. But, if the ship was sent to Vietnam and you operated in the war zone in the combat waters, isn't that kind of unjust, Bill?
Oh, I believe so. So does everybody else that's involved here. We did fight in the Vietnam War.
Yeah. And
they died during the Vietnam War, even though they weren't in combat zone at the time of the collision.
Right.
They were in the Vietnam War.
For days where they were sent to drive somewhere else to, I don't know how you can pull that off to say that you're not in the Vietnam War. It doesn't make any sense to me. Do you have the recognition that you were actually in the Vietnam combat zone at any time at all, ever?
Yeah, we were definitely there.
So the ship is documented with the ship's logs as being in the combat and war zone of Vietnam and a member and part of the Vietnam War. But because for a few hours or days it was sent out of theater to go over here and escort this ship or ships, when the destruction and deaths occurred, they want to try to tell families your son didn't die during the Vietnam War. That's what they're saying.
Oh, exactly.
How can you tell like somebody that your kid didn't die during the Vietnam War? How can you do that? It's preposterous.
I know.
It makes no sense whatsoever. I'm a dumb cook who makes salads and flips steaks for a living, a blue collar schlub. And
that's what I did on the ship also. I was a cook.
It makes sense to me. It's like the fact that it doesn't make any sense. I've never heard of something so preposterous, honestly. And this film, I honestly, as our winner for this year, I honestly want to say in closing today, Bill, and saying goodbye, the trailer for this, the proof of concept that we have shown today, this film definitely needs to be made. If that music and that cinematography doesn't punch you in the gut and make you want to cry. I've watched this thing several times, okay? I felt like crying today at least twice. I don't know how you could pull it off to where you're not touched and moved by the work that you did. I don't know where you came from, Bill Thibeault, but your work in cinematography, production, direction, bottom third titling, the music, it is really good work, bro. Really good work.
Thank you.
Really
well,
good.
If anybody's interested in producing a feature film or getting involved, We do have a pitch deck ready to be seen. If anybody's interested, I can get that to anybody.
Excellent. I'd like to come back on
There's a
again.
breakdown on the budget and everything.
If we can schedule another show, we'll showcase the whole pitch deck slide by slide. I would like to do that, and let's get that up on the air as well, because all these things are interconnected with search engine optimization, search engine marketing, SEO, SEM, the web. Everything is interconnected, and keywords and meta tag technology are all interconnected. That makes things pop. Also,
Right.
Let's not forget to support in Congress today. Once again, they are trying to get the Frank E. Evans Act passed. If you guys are on the phone talking with your legislators, your Congress people, your senators, it's SB 3131 or House Resolution 5945. This is Bill's ship, the USS Frank E. Evans, which was cut in half and destroyed, that his friends in the Vietnam War died in. Bill Thibeault, we salute you. We thank you. We're so proud of what you're doing and your work. And just as a producer and a director, strictly looking at the craft work, we are so impressed with you. Thank you so much, and have a great holiday, Christmas, New Year's, the whole 9 yards, Bill.
Okay, thank you. Same to you.
Take care, buddy.